first of all, obviously to everybody, but there are certain people who wanted to point out that are in the crowd this morning. First and foremost, our customers. So again, so many familiar faces representing all the sales channels that we represent here in the US. I see our tour operators, I see our TMCs, I see our corporate customers. It's really, really exciting that all of you were in a position, not once but twice, to accept an invitation to take time out of your busy day, in the middle of the day, to spend some time for us, with us. For all of us at Lufthansa, this is a very special day. Long time leading up to it. As you know, we're celebrating 2 occasions today, which we'll get to in just a moment. But again, before we continue, I also wanted to reach out and say how appreciative we are that Mr. Tom Glenn, the CEO of Massport, was able to join us today. Tom, thank you very much. As well as his staff, including Mr. Ed Frenny, the Massport Director of Aviation, who has supported us throughout this project, whom we'll be hearing from in just a few moments. Our partners, our joint venture sales partners from United and Air Canada. I don't know how well it's known to everybody in the audience today, but the entire Lufthansa Group operation across the Atlantic is part of a joint venture, which has been in place for quite a number of years together with United and Air Canada. So as such, we function as one sales organization on this side of the Atlantic as well as in Europe. So our colleagues from United and Air Canada, we welcome them wholeheartedly, because at the end of the day, our customers are your customers, and your customers will be enjoying these product investments that we've made for Lufthansa as well. So thanks again for taking time out of your day to join us. Our esteemed airline industry colleagues from Logan Airport. I understand from our station manager, Christopher, a number of his colleagues from other carriers here at Logan were also kind enough to join us today. You're also very welcome. And last but not least, my colleagues, the many Lufthansa representatives from New York and Frankfurt, and of course the Boston station and sales teams led by Anne and Christopher, without whom this proud day for all of us would not be possible. Today we're celebrating 2 milestones. And actually there are a few more things to celebrate today, which I'll add, which were sort of not expected, but they were real pleasant surprises, if you will. First of all, the opening of this beautiful lounge here at Logan, something again that we're all very proud of and very, very pleased that you could join us in celebrating today. Secondly, the arrival of the beautiful Airbus A350. Unfortunately, we tried to twist some arms to see if we could adjust the timetable today, to see that the Munich flight, which is over the Atlantic right now, could somehow have left a few hours early to get here in time for our reception today, but our ops people in Munich were not overly amused when I asked for them to touch the time schedule, because as you know, we try to operate very much according to schedule. The A350, as you know, is a brand new aircraft. There are only 2 of them in our fleet to date. They're both based in Munich. The first one began on February 17th, flying between Munich and Delhi. And as soon as we took delivery of the second one just a few weeks back, we immediately put it on the route into Boston. So out of the entire order of 25 aircraft, which we'll be receiving over the course of the year, the first 10 will be based in Munich, and it was decided based on the Massport investment in this E-port, if you will, here at Logan, as well as the willingness, the cooperation to build the infrastructure that was needed. The company made the decision to have Boston Logan be our first operation of the A350 across the North Atlantic. So we're really proud to bring that to the local market here in Boston, and really proud that you were able to take the time to celebrate it with us. I mentioned before, there are a couple other occasions that we're celebrating today that weren't really expected, but as we're all here with a glass in our hand, I think we should take a moment to acknowledge those developments as well. First of all, I'd like to reach out to you, our customers, our corporate customers, as well as our TMCs that are out there today. We at Lufthansa all know that the last couple of years have not been the easiest for all of you. We've had labor issues within the organization, particularly with our pilots union. I can say that when I started a number of years ago back on the West Coast, I was very proud to be working for Lufthansa because really labor was not an issue in Germany. You know? It was the French, it was the Italians, it was the Brits, right? And pretty much Lufthansa, you know, we always flew according to schedule. And so in the past 2 years, when the issue of strike then came up, it was something very, very foreign to us. You know? It was also very, very difficult for us to constantly apologize for the fact that our flights were not operating according to how you expected them to operate. On a rather sad note, we became extremely good in irregularity management when we got around to about the 12th strike or so. Nevertheless, that's not something we wanted to be well known for. It was painful for my team, it was painful for our customers, and it was painful for our agents serving those customers over the course of that 2-year period. So I'd really like to say from the bottom of our hearts, thank you for bearing with us, for getting through that difficult time with us. But again, the really reason for celebrating today is the fact that as of 2 weeks ago, the entire issue is taken care of. And it's not only been settled after nearly 5 years of negotiations, but it's been settled in such a way that enables Lufthansa to not only cope with, but to manage the consolidation of the industry in Europe. You know, in the US, pretty much industry consolidation is pretty much a done deal. And in Europe, that's definitely not the case. And the growth of low-cost carriers for intra-European travel is unprecedented in the European market right now. Lufthansa Classic, in terms of how it operates, our operating costs and conditions, we're simply not set up in such a way that we cope with the onslaught of low-cost carriers for travel within Europe. I don't know if it's known to all of you, we're thought of in overseas markets as being a long-haul global carrier, which we are. But the slight majority of Lufthansa's revenues is actually made on short-haul traffic within Europe. So therefore, the competitiveness of that platform is extremely existential important to us moving forward. So until we had a platform in place, labor concessions in place that enabled us to plan a level playing field within Europe, we really didn't have a way to move forward. And again, after 5 long years of negotiations, that's been completed. And now we can say until 2022, we can hold our head up high and return to being the dependable operator that we have been for you for quite a number of years. So that's something we're really excited about. At the same time, I just returned from a management conference in Frankfurt last week, and we also announced the fact that Munich Airport as a transit point for all of Europe was named the #1 airport worldwide. Not only in Europe, but it actually bypassed the Asian airports in terms of its efficiency and facilities. So that's something we're also really proud of. So, and not to mention, our year-end results for 2016 were announced 2 weeks ago, and we did, in spite of our November strike, we went 11 months without a strike last year, but we did have one in November, finished 2016 the strongest in the company's history. So we're really excited that we're really well positioned moving forward now, and that's enabling us to make the kind of investments that you're seeing here today, not only with regards to the lounge, but also with regards to aircraft such as the 350. The A350, just not to get into all the technical aspects of it, but really I would say the biggest selling point, the most exciting thing for us is because for Lufthansa, environmental impact is pretty much in our DNA as a German company, if you will. And we're talking about 25% less fuel consumption, therefore 25% less carbon footprint, and at the same time 50% improvement in terms of noise. So I think the nearby residents here in Logan will be happy to have that aircraft taking off then every evening, as opposed to perhaps its predecessor, which was a little bit louder until now. So a number of exciting things happening within Lufthansa Group that we're really happy about, we wanted to share with you today, and again, appreciate you taking the time to be with us. For those of you who aren't so familiar with the scope of the Lufthansa Group within the US, just a real short summary. Our transatlantic service into the US began in 1955 into what is today JFK. And in 1965 was expanded into Boston. So we've been operating then into Boston since 1965, and today up to 5 times per day. At the same time, we employ over 500 staff here in the Boston area, and in the United States, over 14,000 employees work for the Lufthansa Group. So when one sees a Lufthansa or a Swiss aircraft take off or land, one thinks, okay, that's the flight to and from Germany, and you kind of don't think too much more about it. But the Lufthansa Group goes far beyond those aircraft that are flying back and forth to Europe on a regular basis from many cities in the US. Those 14,000 people are employed by either our passenger airlines, such as myself, responsible for Lufthansa, Swiss, Austrian, and Brussels Airlines, which are all passenger airlines within the Lufthansa Group, or they're with Lufthansa Cargo, Lufthansa Technik, being the worldwide leader in MRO services, LSG Skychefs, you see pretty much their trucks around every airport in the US, being a subsidiary of the Lufthansa Group, or Lufthansa Systems, which is our IT subsidiary. So I think our presence, the investment that you're seeing here today, the cooperation we've had with Massport is a very clear indication of our long-term commitment and our belief that Lufthansa Group in the Boston market. which with the capabilities of Logan's revamped Terminal E is why Boston was selected as the first gateway for the 350-900. Before I turn over to my colleague Bjorn Becker, who joined us today from Frankfurt, who is the head of product management, ground and digital services for the Lufthansa Group, who is most familiar with this lounge and all of its features and services. He'll go into a little more detail there. I'd really like to acknowledge the value of our local partners in launching such a new product. As you can imagine, this was a major undertaking here for us in Boston. It certainly would not have been possible without our partners at Massport, the US authorities, the FAA, the CBP, TSA, and all the teams that work with our team here at Logan under Christopher's leadership every day to ensure a safe, secure, efficient, and enjoyable experience for our customers. So without further ado, again, we do wish you a pleasant afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us. And I'd like to turn over to Bjorn Becker, my colleague from Frankfurt.
Hello everybody, and also warm welcome from my side. I'm the guy from Frankfurt, so I have slides. Actually, we didn't really plan it well with the infrastructure. These slides are over there, so maybe I'm the only one to be able to see it. But let's start first with some other words, some words of thank you. First of all, thank you to Marcus, who's over there. He's the project manager for the launch construction in my team, so he's basically responsible for what you see here. And thanks also to all the partners we have. We have Turner Construction, a couple of you guys are here. We have Slick as our caterer, also obviously here. And last but definitely not least, our friends from Massport really supported us a lot in bringing this to life here, this product to life in a very short period of time. So thanks first of all to this project team, who did a really good job, I guess. I'm at least really satisfied with what we see here today. The Boston Lounge, and now everybody can look there if you want. The Boston Lounge is actually our latest lounge, obviously in the Lufthansa Group lounge environment. With the opening just today, with more than 600 square meters we can offer here, and 162 seats available, and with a separate first class offer. And as you see over there, obviously a really nice area. That's something we created new, like a little bit like a living room atmosphere area we have there, with if it's not as boring as my presentation here, it's sports on there. It's a lot more fun maybe. And also one of the things I really like and appreciate that we have that here is the direct gate boarding. So we have the boarding through our gate 10, which is our standard gate here in Boston for all our flights, at least for the Lufthansa flights. We also have the possibility to board via gate 11 directly from the lounge, which is a pretty neat service, I would say. The Lufthansa lounge in Boston is now the latest lounge, I said, in our lounge family. We are offering 27 own locations. We have lounges at 27 locations. It's around about 85 lounges we have, because we obviously have more than one lounge in several locations. Like in our hubs, we have several lounges with 10, 11 million people, 11 million guests in our lounge. So that's a pretty big number, I would say. And also with the partner lounges we have and our star partner corporate lounges, we are offering one of the most advanced and largest lounge network in the world. So coming to the next slide. Oh, no, I'm a little bit louder. Boston is the latest one, but not the last one. We have a construction going on in Milan, in Italy, in Malpensa Airport, which will also be a very nice location. I don't know whether anybody of you has been to Milan. We have a lounge there, similar like here, not really nice location, our old location here, and we will transform it to a really nice location there, also with new services, also with the view on the apron. That's going to be very nice. And one more construction project, or two more actually, we have in Zurich. where we are planning our new first class lounge that will be ready by end of this year, and our new lunch center in Terminal A, which will be ready by March, April this year. And a lot more to come. That is something I can tell everybody who's interested. A beer maybe. It takes too long now. As you have heard, I'm not only responsible for the lounges, but lounges are obviously one of the very interesting and nice things, making me travel all over the world and opening these kind of lounges. And there are also some other things we're doing, and this is something I would just take two or three minutes, and it's my last slide, so I'm finished then. Because I think one of the things that is really important is not only to have good hospitality services, which we have with the lounges, but we also have services that guide you through your journey, guide our travelers, our guests through the journey. So what we do is, for example, we have if you look at services we have regarding travel documentation and immigration, we have seen that in the press last year over here with TSA Pre, we were the first non-US airline who offered TSA Pre for the guests. That was a pretty big thing. We just, by March 15th, went online with our new document validation. That is like an online visa validation we have. So whenever traveling to the US, before you board a Lufthansa aircraft and also Swiss aircraft, we do a call to the CBP online and validate your travel documents. So you can be sure, and this is I think a value in these times, you can be sure that you're able to come to the US if you board our aircraft. So we make that sure for you. So that's something you don't have to worry about if you're flying with us. Another thing is we call digital travel assistance. Obviously, that is to accompany our guests with information and services along their journey. For example, telling our guests when the boarding will start, when the boarding actually has started, so that you don't. That's my favorite, right? You're coming to the airport. It's like 30 minutes before boarding. I'm pretty short normally in time, and then you're heading through the security. You're really in a hurry, and coming to the gates at the time of boarding starts. And then there's no aircraft. And you're like, okay, what's happening here? Why hasn't anybody told me that the boarding will be late? These are the basic things we're doing now, and we are really want to provide that all of our guests are really know what all the information on their journey is. And last but not least, also a thing maybe one of the other of you have heard, we've digitalized the whole baggage experience. Last year, that's 1.5 years ago now, we introduced with Remova together the first electronic baggage tag, suitcase with electronic baggage tag. So there's a baggage tag display in there. And that comes along with a new baggage tracker we have, so you can always see for every bag you check in with us where the bag is. We have a new self-bag drops, so we call it fast bag drops. If you come to the airport with like an electronic baggage tag, then you can just place the bag on the baggage belt of the self-bag drop and it's gone. So there's absolutely mostly no interaction anymore necessary. It's a very easy and very fast process, so that's very convenient. And what we also have is a new feature since a couple of months we call delayed baggage service. That is in case your bag gets misrouted. It doesn't happen too often, but sometimes it happens. What we then offer is that you don't have to wait at the baggage belt. So that's the normal service you get, right? If you call it service, you just get out of the aircraft, you get to the baggage belt, wait there for an hour, then be sure, okay, my baggage is not here, and then go to the lost and found counter and fill out these forms. And what we do is, because we actually know that your baggage is not there if you get out of the aircraft, right? So what we do is we send you a message that can be an SMS or an in-app notification and telling you, okay, we are really sorry your bag is not there, but you don't have to wait at the baggage belt now or go to the lost and found. What you can do is you can just do it online. And everything is pre-filled. It's a very easy process. It's still bad that your bag is not there, but at least the recovery process is easier for you. You don't have to wait. You can go directly to your hotel or home, and we'll send it to you. So these are the things we are trying to do, and we are actually have already at least partly introduced to the market for our guests. that's it from my side. If you have any questions or any more information you want on our services, feel free. I'm here the whole afternoon. I'll fly back with the Munich flights at 8 tonight, so there's plenty of time. So if there's anything you want to know, just let me know, and just catch me and ask all questions that you like. I at least try to answer all the questions if you have some. Okay, so then I would hand over the word to Ed. So very welcome and thank you.
Thank you, Gordon. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. And thank you, Larry. On behalf of Massport and the Logan International Airport community, I want to congratulate Lufthansa. Tom, Glenn, and I are here for that very reason. This started some time ago. Lufthansa was the first airline that approached us with a new concept of this bigger project that you see, where we added this wing to accommodate certain aircraft types, and the 350 was one of those at the time. So we're happy that that's going to start today. We have a great relationship with Chris and Peter and the rest of the local staff, and we congratulate you again and wish you well. This is another example of what we strive for as an airport, to offer better customer service. So we welcome the customers that use this airport, and we congratulate you again and hope that everything will go as well as it has in the past. And we're happy that the things that you had to deal with, as other airlines have over the years with the pilot group, has been resolved. So thanks again to the Lufthansa Group, and thank you to the customers that use Logan Airport. We appreciate it. Thank you.